Hello my dear friends, you're on the Military Summary channel, and this short video we're going to discuss the updates that we received during the previous 10 hours. First, let's take a look at the Institute of Study of War map. They have updated their map and they have published their new conclusions about the situation in Ukraine. And the thing is that the Institute of Study of War are saying that the Russians, as we discussed during the previous week, took a small operational pause in the vicinity of Bakhmut. But now I'm saying that the Russians are going to restart their offensive operation. And now the Russians, according to the Institute of Study of War, are completely focused on their operation in the vicinity of Avdiivka. But first, let's discuss the update that we see according to this map. First of all, this is the blue cloud that located in the south of Novodanilovka. So this blue cloud, this blue square, is the results of Ukrainian recon combat that they took made during the previous week, during this week. So as you can see, the Ukrainians haven't established lots of control. They're saying that Ukrainian sources are saying that the Ukrainians managed to penetrate the Russians' defense orders, but the soldiers on the ground from the Russian side are saying that nothing has changed. Yes, there is small progress, maybe small movements from the Ukrainian side, but nothing special. The Russians are saying that the Ukrainians established control over the gray zone and they managed to short the distance between their position and the Russian position. Very interesting piece of information are coming from the Avdiivka front line, according to Institute of Study of War. As you can see, they have updated their map in the vicinity of Avdiivka. To be more precise, they have updated the piece of information regarding Stepova, this one. If you remember the previous versions of this map, the Western sources, the Institute of Study of War, were saying that this town is under complete Russian control. But now they're saying that this is just the Russian claims, and this information is confirmed. This piece of information is confirmed by the Russians. Stepova is in the gray zone, and we can say, but not like 50-50. So some part of this town is under Ukrainian control, another part is under Russian control. No, it's like maybe 70-30 in Russian favor. And the Russians control most of this town, and there are very heavy clashes, but on the western outskirts of this town, somewhere between Berdych and Stepova. But anyway, this town is not 100% control under Russian. So, and another interesting updates are coming from Bakhmut. The Ukrainians made two developments in this area during the previous 24 hours or 10 hours. The Ukrainians made few counter-offensive operations in the south, trying to push the Russians back from the road that connects Chasov Yar through Ivanovska with the Bakhmut. As you can see, there are very heavy clashes, and this territory sometimes under Russian control, but by the evening, let's say, this territory is under Ukrainian control. The next morning, the Russians pushes the Ukrainians back. So this is the gray zone, and there are very heavy clashes, and the Russians made few attempts to push the Ukrainians from this area in direction of the road TO504. The same situation in the south of Ivanovska. As you can see, according to Institute of Study of War, the Russians were pushed back from this small, let's say, corner, salient in this area. Another interesting update are coming from the road between Khromovo and Chasov Yar. This road, as you know, that the Russians established fire and physical control over this road. At least we got this piece of information in the past. But as you can see, the Ukrainians, as a result of their counter-offensive operation, managed to take control over some forest lines, and maybe they managed to increase a little bit the level of security, the security level of this road. But we'll see what is going to be next. Furthermore, the Russians are saying from their side that they activated their movements in direction of Seversk, and now there are very heavy clashes inside of Verkhnokamianske, this one, and the Russians are saying that they managed to enter this town and that there are clashes inside of this town. And the reason why the Russians activated in this area is that they understand that Ukrainians are going to start their counter-offensive operation and blocking operation of Bakhmut, and now the Russians want to freeze and pin down the Ukrainians' reserves, and they need to stretch their forces. So yesterday we discussed, and a few days ago we discussed, that the Russians started movement in this area, and attacking in this area will force the Ukrainian garrison in Seversk to think twice before sending reserves to Bakhmut. So as you can see, just a small changes, but we see that Institute of Study of War confirms the information about the operational pause, and maybe the operational pause will be increased by the Russians. We'll see today Now we will try to analyze the report of Ministry of Defense. We will see what numbers they're going to provide us, and then we will be able to make our own conclusions as well. And that's it for this short update. Military Summer Channel reminds to condemn any violence in Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good day. Bye bye.